I've heard their music.
Yeah, I mean, Chasing Cars is a fantastic song. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Simple,
we should send over the podcast to some of these bands and singers that you want to sing your songs, and maybe they'll get the hint.
Well, yeah, that would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll cut you in, obviously. I'll cut you in.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Take a percentage, you know.
Don't say it too loud. Melanie might hear you.
Oh, no. Okay, yes. Okay.
That'll be between me and you.
Okay, just between us. She's not listening anyway.
She's
having a meal in some nice restaurant.
I don't think so. She listens to them all, so yeah.
No. Well, she's told a story.
She'll be okay with it.
She has told me the story about what she's doing tonight, but I won't say. You're right.
Now, did you ever think of teaching a class in songwriting?
Oof, wow. Is that possible, I wonder? Well, I haven't.
Right.
I don't even know if that's possible. I don't really know. I mean, gosh.
I mean, you've learned so much throughout the years. Your experience alone would be great to pass on
but
people starting out.
Absolutely, but it's like I've previously said. I think the main thing is just keep it real and write about what you know. It's hard to, yes, I suppose the technical elements about chord structures and things, what goes with what and things like that. That's possible, but I think what makes a good song is not the number of chords you use, but how they connect with the words and how what the song actually means. I think that's how a good song works. And I don't know if you can teach people that. I don't know. I think you got to feel it,
Right. That's so true.
Know. That's interesting. I mean, yes, you can teach people how to play. I could teach someone how to play the guitar, but whether I could teach someone how to songwrite, it's an interesting question.
Yeah. Well, you think about that and get back to me, but
I mean, if you want to be my first client, that's fine,
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just send you some of my poetry and you could put it to music.
Yeah, for your charge.
It would be all sad songs, so there you go.
Well, that suits me.
Yeah. Now, what's the most important piece of advice you've received when you started in the music business?
Oh, I think really I've already said it. Really, I know it sounds very cliche, but it is. It's just keeping it real. You've got to write about what you know, what you got to be as just do what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very relaxed and grounded about things. I'm not, and I just write about these things that I know about. And I think that's what I would say is what you got to do. Although I suppose there are, I suppose if you want to be some mega pop star, you've got to fit into some sort of mold, haven't you? Really, you've got to be some, record company wants a certain kind of image, I guess. But I don't know.
Right.
I think if you just you're true to yourself and you do what you do, I think the music will speak at the end of the day. I hope anyway.
That's very true. Yes, and it does. It does. Now, I'm curious about one thing. You have such a great voice, and I know you have many, many fans of your music, and you sing all of your own songs. So what stops you from going out on gigs?
Forgetfulness. I can't remember the words. I'm a bag of nerves, really. Bag of nerves, and I mean the music itself is very heavily engineered. Don't forget. I mean it's I've got a lot of studio wizards who put that together and make me sound better than I am. But at the end of the day, I mean really nerves. I think I used to gig a long time ago, and it was, I don't really miss those days of being sick behind stage and
oh no.
And the disheartenment when you do come out and there's only two man and a dog in the corner there. I think those are the things that kind of dishearten me and put me off that kind of thing. And I, like I say, I concentrate on the writing, which I think is
right.
That's where my passion is, and that's what I think I'm better at. But yeah, I mean, maybe one day, I don't know, when I get a memory back and get a band together who'd actually want to play with me,
Yeah. And take maybe one day. Pills or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you have to put up my mood swings and things like that. Yeah.
That would be an interesting show.
Maybe for you, not for me.
Oh my gosh, you are so funny. Well, as I said, I was going to close the show with 3 songs from your newest album, and that's called Songs from Adam's Room.
That's right.
What would you like our listeners to know about that album, and why that title?
Well, the title is actually it's where I recorded the original songs in. Adam is my youngest stepson. I have to think for a minute.
Oh.
And he's off at university, so I accommodate his room, and
Oh, that makes sense.
I cleared all his stuff out, moved all my stuff in, and recorded all the songs for the album in there. Well, I say the rough ones. Obviously, the album was actually done in a studio, but the rough ones were done in there. So they were all written and recorded in that room. So hence the title on that. But the song, the albums, the songs on the album, they kind of start where East Coast Train stopped. East Coast Train was the last song on the third album, and if you remember, I was saying that was about someone I met 20 years ago getting back in touch with me, and that kind of triggered off the songs for the new album, because that was all about reflection about, well, what have I done in the last 20 years, and so that's what the album's about, and it's about looking at yourself and then working out what really matters and what's important, and and I guess at the end of the day, I've still got the positive messages from the first album in where, everything's going to be okay, so, don't worry too much.
Yeah.
And that's what all those songs are really about, even though some of them can be quite aggressive in the lyrics. It's like, well, okay, but don't worry.
Well, you know what? When I listen to the songs off the album, some of the songs sounded like from the 60s, and in particular, the Beatles. Was that intentional?
Oh, well, not intentional, but obviously Beatles is one of my biggest influences. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, if they could do one of my songs, Paul McCartney, that'd be brilliant. But there you go. So I think subconsciously, I guess you always plugged into your influences, even though when I record them, I'm not necessarily thinking about that.
Right.
I'm just thinking about the next line.
Yeah.
The next word, even though no. So yeah, no, I don't. There's no like I say, no subconscious reasoning for the album to sound that way. But I guess because I got a lot of inspiration from that era, and even the 70s as well. I guess it's always going to stick with me, and it's always going to reflect in my music, no matter what I do. Because going back to the very, very start, your very first question, it's the music my parents played around the house, and it's the music that always sticks in the brain. It's the reason I started to play the guitar in the first place.
Right.
So that music will always stick with me, and obviously then I join that together with more contemporary words and social activities, events that have been happening. So that's probably why that influence may come across in the music. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that new album. I think it's wonderful, and it is different from your other albums, and that doesn't mean your other albums are not good, because they are. They're just good in a different way. Of course, I love the Beatles. I don't know many people that don't love the Beatles or the songs from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and that, and even going back to the 50s, those were great song eras.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it is. You take that. I mean, someone like, Buddy Holly from the 50s, early Elvis Presley songs, okay, I don't sound like them, but you're still influenced by them,
Right.
You're taking that kind of, what they had, the vibe they had, and the chord progressions they used, and you take that and you use it in your own music, but obviously you put your own stamp on it, like everybody else does. It what makes a band, Bruce Springsteen, what makes Queen, what makes the Beatles.
Yeah.
They've got their own unique sound, which I think if you put one of my records on, I think someone would know that sounds like. If it's not me, it sounds like me.
Yeah.
I think that's the pinnacle I like to get to. I'd like to get, that sounds like him, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you never know. There's probably, kids that are just starting out, and they could be singing your songs right now. So that's
good on them. Good on them.
Yeah, that's a great honor to have.
Absolutely.
Now, before I let you go, for our listeners, I wanted to let them know how they can be in contact with you, and I know that you're on Twitter. You're at Colin Heppell, and that's Heppell, and I know you're not on there often, but, they can follow you there.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm on MySpace, Reverb Nation. I've got my own website. The official website was just launched recently, I think, 3 weeks ago or something, which is just basically at colinheppell.co.uk. But yeah, just Google me or whatever browser you've got. Just type my name in, and I'm everywhere. I'm a rash, I'm afraid. I'm just all over the place.
Well, your Facebook page is facebook.com/Colin Heppell, and as you said, your website is colinheppell.co.uk. Excuse me. I seem to be losing my voice here. And just so you know, before I let you go, the songs I'm going to play is Alive to It, which I said, and then Don't Lose Your Hold and First Sign of Trouble. Did you want to say anything about the other two songs?
Well, I guess, they're on the same album, the Adam's Room album, which again, all the songs are looking about reflection. First Sign of Trouble, I guess, is sort of working out, who you can count on and who you can't. It's people who are, people aren't taking enough responsibility for themselves, and there's this blame culture in the UK that everybody blames somebody else to take responsibility. I don't know if that's the same over in the US. I don't know, but
of course,
that's certainly what it's like over here. And it's like, so you learn who you can trust and who you can count on. That's what that song's about. And I think, Don't Lose Your Hold again. It's like I say, it's looking back, and I guess it's about. I suppose it's what I would tell myself when I was a teenager. If I could go back in time, I'd tell myself this song. It's basically about, just relax, you'll be okay. Take a bit of advice, but feel what you feel and do what you feel, and that's really what that song's about,
Right. Well,
there you go.
To let them know, too, they can buy these albums, all of your albums, your 4 albums, Hope in My Heart, Around, Dreams and Demons, and then the last one, Songs from Adam's Room, on your website as well as on iTunes, and I'm sure probably Amazon as well.
Well, no, you can get them. You can get them through the website. You can get them through Facebook as well. You can buy them. You can buy physical CDs, or you can buy a download of the CD, or you can get a download of each individual song. So if you want to like one of my songs, you can get that one. If you like the full album, you can get the full album.
And I think that's a good choice for people, because if you remember before the days of digital downloading, if you did like only one or songs off an album, you had to buy that full album, whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah, no, it is a way to do it, and it's relatively. Download obviously is really quite. Can I say the word cheap?
Yeah,
it's really cheap. It's only something like 99 cents to download one song. So, it's relatively. The album I think is only about $5 or something. I can't remember now to download. So it's reasonably cheap, and obviously you don't have the postage on top. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah. Yes, especially coming from the UK, and then it takes forever to get here, and so if you do it digitally and you want it right away, then that's the way to go. I myself like to have a physical CD or a physical album because I like the artwork, I like the inside covers and that. So.
No, I am with you 100% on that one.
Yeah.
I always buy my albums. I've never downloaded an album in my life.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I've done both. I mean,